Ranga was a well-educated and a well-mannered boy. He was quite different from the other boys of his age. Even after Ranga studied outside his village and pursued his higher studies from Bangalore, he never forgot his tradition and culture. He still touched the elders' feet while greeting. The same afternoon, Ranga went to narrator's house with a couple of oranges. Ranga himself was a social person. He had good manners and social skills. The narrator found Ranga a generous and considerate fellow. The narrator thought that it would be a fine thing to have him marry, settle down, and be of service to society. After talking for a while, the narrator asked Ranga when he planned to get married. To this, Ranga replied that he had no plan to settle as a married man in near future. The narrator became curious and asked him why. Then Ranga put his views on marriage in front of the narrator. Ranga said, I need to find the right girl. That means Ranga told him that he first needed to find the right girl. Ranga gave some examples of why he didn't want to get married soon. Ranga said that 6 months ago a 30 years old officer married a girl of about 25. Now since both were adults they would understand each other's actions and behavior. They would be able to talk lovingly to each other. Suppose Ranga got married to a young girl. She might misunderstood his words or actions of love as words spoken in anger because she was not matured enough to understand his love. His second example was that of Dushyant falling in love with Sakuntala, who was quite mature. Had she been young, it would not have been possible to fall in love with her. So what was Ranga's first desire about his right girl? He therefore wanted to remain bachelor till he found a mature woman to marry. This was the opinion of Ranga given to the narrator in terms of age compatibility. So according to Ranga, he had some desires based on age compatibility means the girl should be matured enough to understand him, to understand his actions and not be taken as an actions and words in love as words spoken in anger. Since in their village at that time child marriage was a tradition, Ranga was aware that men were being tied to immature girls of tender age like 11 to 15. Ranga did not believe in arranged marriage. He wished to marry a girl he admired. So that is his first desire of marrying a girl. First, a girl should be matured, and second, the girl that he would marry should be admirable. A girl having milk stain on one side and wetness on the other could not be admired. A pretty young girl who did not even know how to bite her fingers could not be said as admirable. The girl must be matured, considerate and understanding. If he did not get such a girl, he would remain a bachelor. Ranga was of the opinion that people should not marry a girl at an early age. Ranga resolutely said that he was not going to marry because he was still waiting for the right person in whom he found all these qualities. A relationship like marriage requires a lot of maturity and understanding. These qualities develop after a certain age, and certainly childhood is not the age. It's not that age. Education plays an important role in creating awareness, and we can notice that educated people do not think about getting married till they are ready to get married. In this story, Ranga's pursuing his studies has really brought a change in his views about marriage. This is clear in his talk with the narrator. He says that first he should find the right girl. He implies a new perspective to the conventional idea of marriages. It also clear in his saying that he can't do so. He would remain a bachelor. Obviously, Ranga's views on marriage are desirable and good. To some extent, today boys and girls willing to marry have views identical to those of Ranga: looks, maturity, admirability, understanding, etc. Ranga doesn't appreciate arranged marriage in old traditional way. So he advocates that the boy and girl should first find out their compatibility, and if it is there, they should go in for marriage. But what happens in the story is something very different. Sometimes hearts win over reasoning and logic of the mind when it comes to making decisions. The narrator was distressed about Ranga's view about the marriage because he thought his views were beyond the views of the villagers. Ranga left after the discussion, and the narrator decided that he would get the boy married. Determined, he began considering Ramarao's niece, Ratna, as a suitable bride for Ranga. By the fact that Ranga told him that he did not want to marry, it kind of ignites within the narrator almost pledges and takes a vow that he was going to get this man married, and Ranga, being educated, would make a good groom, good husband. So it is his duty to find a bride for Ranga. The narrator almost takes it as his moral responsibility to get the bride for Ranga. As I have told you earlier that the story depicts the role of neighborhood and well-wisher had to play in arranged marriages. Similarly, the narrator was determined to get Ranga married. The narrator started playing his role as a matchmaker.